Hey there, welcome to Table Tennis Philosophy. Recently had a conversation with another local table tennis coach who was talking about working with somebody on their loop, and his conclusion was they weren't ever going to be able to loop really effectively until they quit gripping their racket so tight. And in fact, felt like their just normal grip was causing too many problems and just wasn't conducive to looping. And got me thinking, because I've taught a number of people to loop, even though I have a backhand loop, but my forehand is more of a driving, hitting pip shot. But have managed to get a few people looping pretty successfully, and there has been some times when it has been frustrating, and I think it does get down to quite often the players are just gripping the racket too tight. And what I had learned when I first started playing was that you should really only grip your racket just tight enough to control it, and as you make contact that you would tighten the grip some. And so I have a fairly loose grip myself, I feel like I do, but when I'm coaching some people, I quite often see it's like the veins are popping out of their arms, and it must have a really tight grip. And when I question them about it, it's like, how tight do you feel? And they're like, oh yeah, pretty tight. And so part of the way to get rid of that is actually to relax, loosen the grip, maybe even take the racket kind of really, you notice my racket's got black rubber on both sides. Don't try that, illegal. Anyway, but keep a really loose grip before they, each time they play, and trying to get in the habit of having that loose grip. I would say there's certain shots that demand a looser grip. If you're perhaps a short pips hitter, you might not grip quite as loosely, but I think you really, for looping shots, most of your touch shots, most of table tennis demands that you keep a loose but controlled grip. And I know that, like I said, from working with a lot of beginners, a lot of developing players, it takes a while before they're confident enough, they're relaxed enough to loosen up on that grip. And give you one more side note on why I think this loose grip is really so important. I've really only had one student that I was able to teach from a young age, no bad habits, and taught looping to them. And the result was that they actually loop better than anybody else that I've ever coached. And so it was a big plus for me that I was able to relate something and teach something, and they were able to pick up on it, and with a clean slate they had a very good looping shot. What's been amazing to me though, not that, I guess that's a success story for that player and a success story for me, but what's amazing is they're able to loop top spin, loop underspin, very nearly with the same stroke, and it looks very similar, and the ball always comes over, always has a nice loop. And there might be good technique, natural ability. It could be some reasons for that, but I think one of the big things is this particular player is not necessarily physically strong and learned right away to have a very loose grip, and at times maybe even has too loose a grip, but for the most part it's really loose, and yet it's really controlled. And that loose grip and the relaxed muscles allow for a fluidity with shots that you'll notice with most all of the really good players, that they have that really fast, relaxed, loose shot, yet it's under control. And it starts by not trying to strangle your racket. All right, thanks. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.